Oh, Steven. Steven. Never change, please. This soap opera we call the Dallas Cowboys never gets tired because it's always some random quote before the beginning of free agency or the off season where it's like, at the end of the day, only so much pie to go around, or some weird quote. Oh, we got another one this year, so let's get straight into the video, guys. Now, before we begin today's video, if you guys could do me a favor, hit the like button. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell as well. Well over 87% of you guys watching are not subscribed. So if you do fall into that 87 percentile, I highly recommend you just hit the subscribe button, because I'm telling you right now, if you keep coming back for more, it just makes sense to subscribe. I'm just saying. But here nor there. Let's get straight into it. So Stephen Jones had another interview, quote, however you want to word it, but we're going to listen into what he had to say regarding what the Dallas Cowboys had to do better in the postseason. And then I'm going to further discuss my gripes. Now, again, this is not the first time we've talked about the front office. This is like probably my 500 millionth video talking about the front office. I understand some people think it gets annoying, but this is stuff that's ongoing, and we had to talk about it. So let's see what he had to say, and then we'll further discuss. I think he got to be one click better. I mean, we're right there. And we had some things. If a couple of things go our way, then you're in it. But at the end of the day, we've got to have our key guys. They all got to play one click better. We all got to be one click better. We got to make the team one click better. We got to coach one click better. Our key guys got to play one click better if we're going to. I mean, we have to. We have to take the next step. We obviously got a good football team, and obviously I think that regular season wins, I think maybe the Chiefs have as many or a little bit more, so we're both playing at a high level consistently. It's just, unfortunately, we get in the playoffs and we're not winning the key game. Oh, my Lord. Bruh, I don't know. Are we living in Bizarro world? Like, am I going crazy? Did I have a stroke? What am I reading? We gotta be one click better now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, if we were one click better, we would have beat the 49ers. Except that is not the reason you lost to the 49ers. Allow me to explain. We have said it throughout the entire season. What was the issue with the Dallas Cowboys? The way the offense was being called, the lack of weapons for your quarterback, and ultimately the lack of a scheme that you could rely on. And I want you to understand something. Like, I don't have a problem with us having a discussion about Dak Prescott did not play well and he's the reason why we lost. I don't have a problem when we have a discussion about, hey, Kellen Moore and company did not call a good game, and when things went down the way they did, he didn't do anything to assist the team as a OC would or as any coach would, right? That's a fair assessment. But why is it when we get to the discussion about building the team up, which is one of the biggest components when you're trying to win a championship, we give Steven and Jerry a pass? I don't know what it is with some of these fans, but they think it's okay for us to go and crucify Dak Prescott like we did with Tony Romo before that, and even when we didn't have a quarterback. Hey, we don't have a quarterback. Then it was, okay, it's Mike McCarthy's fault. It's Jason Garrett's fault. It's, Wade Phillips' fault. And by the way, again, I'm not defending any of these individuals. I just want you to understand what I'm getting at here. But every time we come to talk about the front office, it's just nothing. Especially, with many others. It's like, oh, it's Dak Prescott's fault this. It's Tony Romo's fault that. It's this coach's fault there. Which, again, there is a legitimacy to that if you're looking at certain individual performances. Like, that doesn't mean we can't criticize that. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just putting this shield in front of them being like, oh, see, because it's all Steven and Jerry's fault, that means that everybody else's fault. But here's my thing, and I want you to understand something. Steven and Jerry are ultimately the people that have the final say on what this roster looks like. Am I wrong? No. Because think about it this way. You have to put talent on your team to have success. We saw that with the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bengals, who, by the way, are a lot cheaper than the Cowboys when it comes to how they handle business, but they've come around on that. You know, the 49ers, you need to construct your teams in a way to where, hey, we added weapons onto this team by making 1, 2, or a lot more moves to put us in that position. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys we're going to be minimal in free agency. We're not going to go after anybody big in free agency. We're going to just draft people and hope to God it works out. And we're just going to cut and release people or trade people that we don't want here for whatever the reason that may be and hope to God it works out. That is not a winning formula. It's not. It's not. There is a proven track record where you have to do something in the trade and free agency markets for you to be a successful franchise when it comes to having postseason success. This is not rocket science. This is true. You know, look at what the Chiefs did. Look at what the Eagles did. Look at what the Rams did. Look at what the Bengals did when they went on their Super Bowl run, right? You look at what happened with the Bucs. Like, it's unbelievable how you look at every single past champion that has existed over the past handful of seasons and even before that, and it's always the same result. The team needed to spend money in free agency to get players. They needed to trade for some players if need be, and they needed to draft well. The Dallas Cowboys only draft well. And when your draft doesn't go well or you're expecting a rookie to fulfill the shoes of a guy that you had as a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver, that ain't going to work out for you like you may think. So again, why is it that, Jerry and Steven get a pass? It's all, hey, you know what? It's Dak Prescott's fault we lost. It's Kellen. I mean, guys, when are we going to stop this? It's time for us to take a look at what's going on. And this is the part that is annoying. You know, we talk about Dak Prescott throwing all these interceptions, but when you look at how these interceptions came about, what were the reasons? The option routes, the receivers not catching the ball, you know, some of it Dak Prescott not putting it in the right place where it should be, and we're blaming him. But we're not blaming the receivers that he has. I mean, I want you to think about this. CeeDee Lamb, awesome receiver. We know what he can be. Okay, Michael Gallup. Okay, you signed him back after an ACL tear, but he didn't look like the same guy that you would think he looked like, so you kind of got screwed there. You drafted Jalen Tolbert, who, by the way, didn't bring anything for you this go-around. Oh, Noah Brown, who, by the way, overperformed for what you were asking, but he definitely ain't a wide receiver 2 or 3 in this league, and it shows. I guarantee you that if he was on a different team, whether that be Philadelphia, whether that be Kansas City, whoever the hell you want to talk about, I guarantee you he's not a wide receiver 4. Dennis Houston, a guy that was on the practice squad. Simi Fehoko, a guy that's on the verge of being on the practice squad / is and not. Like, are we crazy? And, oh, you had a T.Y. Hilton who made one big play for you, and he had a couple nice plays here and there outside of the big play he had versus Philadelphia. But you expect for your quarterback to work with a one wide receiver 1 and a bunch of the expendables, if you want to call them that? Oh my God. Oh, well, we had, Dalton Schultz. We had Jake Ferguson. Okay, but they didn't really use him a whole lot. Like, it's kind of like you're screwed if, these guys don't perform. Like, wouldn't you want to have as much talented pieces on the offense to get the most out of your quarterback, like not take away weapons? Like, how can you prove, like, if we're still having conversations, no, I don't think Dak Prescott's the guy, wouldn't you want to load up the team to prove if he can have really damn good seasons and ultimately put you in positions to win? Like, am I wrong there? But again, no one's going to listen to me. There's always going to be the people that will always blame the quarterback, always blame the coach, but never blame the front office, but then have the gall to blame the front office and be like, well, it's the front office's fault we have this player and that player, but not. Like, okay, well then, if that's the case, then what is the front office doing to help build this team up? Because last time I checked, they haven't done their job for years. So, I don't want to keep going on and on and on, but my point is, ladies and gentlemen, this front office has taken talent away, failed to replenish it, and they're acting like, oh, if we just play a little bit better, we'll be fine. No, you guys need to add just a handful of guys. And when I mean a handful, I'm just saying 3 dudes. A wide receiver, a defensive tackle, and a linebacker. If you add those 3 guys in free agency, you spend like $10-20 million on that alone, I have no complaints, bro. I really have no complaints. The Cowboys can open up some cap space. Stop lying to people and stop acting like you can't do your fucking job. Point blank, period. With that being said, guys, that's all I have to say about this situation. What do you guys have to say? I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.